Hello, everybody. Red Zero Inferno here, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. You guys already know what this game is, and I'm kind of late to the party, but I'm gonna fucking play it anyway because it's fucking fun and kind of funny, if you ask me. But don't ask me because I have a terrible sense of humor. Like, both a really dark sense of humor and a really fucking stupid and stale sense of humor. But hey, I don't know. If you like those things, then you're in the right place. Why is this taking so long to load? I don't fucking know. I just got a new graphics card today. My monitor is still a little fucked, but I got a new graphics card today. It's a 1060 GTX 1060. Um, really nice. It's a small, compact one. It actually draws less power than my old one did, um, by like 100 watts or so. Uh, but yeah, it's a good new card. But like still having a few issues here and there with games like well, obviously this is taking forever to load for some fucking reason. But you know, stuff and things, I suppose. Are you even is it there it goes. I saw that. There it goes. Okay. Good. We're good. Okay. Good. It was just taking a minute cuz it's the first load since my new graphics card installed, I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I could probably do. Yeah, I can do that. I'm not gonna do it right now. We'll go back to that later. Turn your monitors off.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna follow the narrator for a while here. For the first way.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Huh. Okay. Moving on. We'll come back to that later.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aw. That appears to be locked.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
But I can't possibly have known it. But I couldn't have possibly known it.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
But it's not possible for me to have known that, so I just can't. Can I? I can't even fuck with it.
2845.
All right, jeez, calm down.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Got some more loading to do, apparently. I should probably cut this out, but I don't have the tools to be able to do that right now. I'm sad.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh my.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We'll go back to that later. Probably in another episode, not this one.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Can I go back? I can. Kind of.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Employee number 427 is right there. I'm looking right at it. If I knew how to zoom, I would. There it is. You guys can see it. Right there in the middle. Still
This
doesn't
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
It still doesn't explain why everybody has suddenly disappeared without reason.
No. He refused to believe
Pirate?
it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Why does that...
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Why does this green button have the satanic cross on it? Why does this green button have a satanic cross on it?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
But what if I press the on button? But what if I... alright. I turned it off. What happened? Why does my fucking cursor keep appearing random? Oh, there we go. That's better.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yeah.
Where had his co-workers gone?
Exactly.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Exactly.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
No, wait, I wasn't
Stanley
done.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That is one of the many possible endings, and it's technically not actually the end of the game. Good God, here we go. Some of these endings take a long ass time, so we're gonna have to fucking make separate fucking videos for them. I think, honestly, we might just start working on that right now. Maybe not, though. I have an idea what we're gonna do next episode anyway. That is, if this fucking thing loads and lets me end the episode. There we go. That's what I wanted. Yes, thank you for loading. Good. Alright. That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a pleasure. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, this first episode of the Stanley Parable. In the next episode, we will see what happens when we push the on button down in the mind control facility. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye!